Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Jagarative, Jai Masters. Eventually, you will find out what's causing all the trouble. When we're lost, and we're all lost, it looks like the outside is causing the trouble. Period. There's deaths, there's sickness, there's financial problems, there's relationship problems, there's people not liking you, there's people liking you that you don't want liking you. There are so many things that are going on outside that you see as problems. And the problem is that you really see them as problems, and therefore you devote your life to fixing them. You devote your life to not having them, because they're not comfortable having problems. They make you uncomfortable. The problem is no one has ever not had problems, except for the masters, because they found out the cause of problems, whereas we're trying to find the solution to problems. If you see that difference, you're ready to be here, because that's a big difference. If you keep trying to find solutions, one, you have completely committed yourself to say there are problems. They are real. They need to be worked with. They need to be avoided. They need to be fixed. You need to make good decisions so you don't have them and cause them. Just an entire world of it's not okay to have problems. Therefore, I'm a problem solver. I don't quit. I'm a problem solver. You watch me. I solve problems. Okay? Every single bit of that, which is very beautiful, as opposed to you don't solve problems. All right? We think that's high. I'm a problem solver. I can solve any problem. But it only goes so high because there are constantly problems. There are constantly problems. There's no one that doesn't have problems. We now have billionaires and now trillionaires, huh? Okay? And they have a lot of problems. Are you sure you want to change places with them? They got lawsuit problems. Oh my God, they got problems. Yes or no? Problems beyond, but they have problems that need trillions of dollars to try to fix. Okay? And that goes for having $1 or $10 or $100 or $1,000 or $1 million. Same thing. Everybody's got problems. And they look at the value of life, and the quality of life is, how good am I at not quitting, but solving these problems? Take a breath, because you know where I'm going. What if there are no problems? What if there are no problems? What if you are creating what you call problems and then doing everything you can to try to fix what you created? Now that's a big thing to swallow, isn't it? So let's look at it. Everything I've said so far was about things going on outside. Death, sickness, divorces, relationship problems. They're problems because you said they were. If somebody else had the exact same situation, they'd be celebrating. The marriage is terrible, but I'm Catholic and I can't get divorced. What am I going to do? It's not good for the kids. The whole relationship is ridiculous. What's this note? Oh, he says he's leaving. Yes or no? Go on, extrapolate it out all you want. Problems are what you say they are. If you say they're not a problem, I can't stand my job, but I can't quit. I signed these non-disclosure agreements and I can't get out and so on. And if I ever left, I'm in big trouble and I got to get trouble, right? You're fired. But you're fired. But my agreement says that if I'm fired without cause, then none of these agreements make any difference because you're fired without cause. Too bad you're fired. Okay, hooray, I'm out, free, liberated. Yes or no? What's the problem? What you say is. That's what the problem is. And you're going to find out that that's the truth. What if I'm sick? Well, learn about medicine. Go on the web and check out with ChatGPT or somebody. What's this? Oh my God, I never even know I had one. How could I have a problem with something I didn't know what I had? Maybe I should learn about it, right? And you involve yourself in your life as opposed to being afraid of life. But what if I die? Can we talk about that, please? Just once. Are you willing to talk about it? You ready? You're going to die. Not what if I die. You're going to die, period. Well, what does that mean? You know what the right answer is? How do I know? I haven't done it yet. All right? Death is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I've told you that. Well, usually when you have a once-in-a-lifetime experience, it's like, oh my God, I went camping and it was so beautiful. And it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Well, so death is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Guarantee you, unless you're a Buddhist, then you get to do it over and over again. But and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're here and death is you're not here. That we know. Are you somewhere else? You'll find out. I don't understand the problem. If you're not there, it won't be a problem. If you find out there is a there and you're somewhere else, wow, that'll be exciting. Okay? And the other side of it, which I really don't understand, you guys, is, well, then I won't be here. All you do is complain while you're here. It is. It's too hot. It's the thing. He's not treating me the way I want. I'm afraid this is going to happen. I don't like what happened before. Right or wrong, you collected every single thing that ever went wrong in you, as you said, went wrong in your life. You collected and kept it inside, keeps coming back up. Now you have problems with that. You can't handle, you're afraid what's going to happen today. You're afraid what's going to happen later. You're working hard to run away from yourself, and you're afraid of dying. No, I'm not inviting you to die. It's a natural process. Let it happen naturally. The problem is you can't. Why? Because you're full of problems. You're full of stuff. Some people are positive about that. They have this thing called a bucket list. Ever heard of bucket list? The bucket list, I'm sorry, is the saddest thing in the whole world. What does it basically say? I've been alive all this time and I haven't found what I'm looking for. It still doesn't work. So I made a list of what I haven't done yet. That's a bucket list. I hope it does it. Nothing else has done it. But if I go and jump out of an airplane with a parachute that says 50% out of the Army store, all right, that could be exciting. I don't know how example I can give you. Basically, what you're saying is, you ready? I'm not okay. And I've lived my whole life. That's what midlife crisis is. They're perfectly normal. I'm not okay. I've been not okay. I've done the childhood, this, that, bullied, blah, blah, all kinds of stuff's gone on, relationship, all that stuff. I'm not okay. I've worked hard as I can. I've earned the money. I have the family. I've done the thing. And it's still not okay. I'm afraid that the wife will leave. I'm afraid that someone will get sick. I'm afraid the kids are going to be in school. You got a lot to worry about, don't you? In other words, I'm not okay. But what happens if you reach 50, 40, 50, whatever it is, and you realize, look, I'm still not okay. It hasn't really changed. I'm still running as hard as I can to try to be okay. I've done that every minute of my life. I don't want to take the breath. I don't want to look. I'm still not okay. That's a midlife crisis. So what's the problem? The problem is you don't understand there are no problems. There's this thing called life. I've talked to you about it over and over again. Too bad you can hear it again. What is life? I don't need a philosophy. I will tell you what life is. There happens to be this planet. The astronauts got a good view of it when they went to the moon recently. There's this planet, tiny little thing, spinning through dark, black, empty space. Life is what happens to you when you're on that. Not good, not bad, not right, not wrong, not just, not unjust. Just there's a place sitting out there in the middle of nowhere, floating around. Well, is it fairly new? Oh, I don't know. It's been there for 4.5 billion years. Well, do I have to stay there? No, it's like a vacation. You get to go there for 60, 80, 90, 100 years. Not 4.5 billion. Don't worry, you're not going to stay. You have to worry about a single thing. Just go down there, land on the planet. We'll talk about in a minute how you got there. It's very interesting, all right? But you drop down on the planet. You really drop out onto the planet, okay? You drop out onto the planet, and there you are. Okay? And then you hang out there for a little while, and then you go, I don't want to die. And you go away. You drop down, and you leave. Right or wrong? That is what life is. When we get down to details, what's the matter with you? If you're on the planet, and then you have these few years. You can handle it. It's fine. Well, okay, maybe it's boring. It ain't boring. I guarantee you, it ain't boring. Well, what's happening on the planet? Holy mackerel. Where do you want to start? There's thousands and thousands of types of animals, and there's people, and they're all different. Some are nice and some are not. And it's like there's just all kinds of stuff going on. There's clouds, and there's rain, and there's storms, and there's dry, and there's desert. I haven't finished yet. It's just everywhere you look, there's something. When was the last time you opened your eyes and there was nothing? Never. There's always something. But is it always the same thing? Never. Nothing ever stays the same. It's not a snapshot. It's a motion picture. How about your body? It started off, a couple of feet? How'd you get so big? I don't know. It happened by itself, didn't it? It's a happening place, this planet Earth. You just drop down and walk around and experience it, look at the trees, and the birds, and hear the songs. You know, the planet sings to you. I know you don't hear it because you're busy with yourself, right? But there's so many things. Can I stop it? You realize a lot of things going on. It's quite a place. Go to Mars. Can you imagine being the first person landing on that red dirt planet where there's nothing, no living creatures, not even a roach. There's nothing, all right? And you just walk around and get dusty, right? Well, that's what's like on Mars. All right, Earth is not like that. There's always something going on, right or wrong. So far, I've been talking for a while. I don't see where you have a problem. You've landed on the nicest planet. We have telescopes, the James Webb and the Hubble, that see pretty far out there, and they get to a lot of details. Amazing what they can do. They ain't found squat. Burning black holes. And I was like, there's not any place you want to go visit. I'll tell you that right now. And they see light years, thousands, millions of light years away. Do you understand that? You can say there must be life somewhere else. We ain't found it. So Earth is kind of a special place. If you had to land on some planet, I think you did really well. When was the last time I said thank you? Not because somebody loved you, because they gave you a diamond ring to get engaged, or you got the job you wanted, or you found out you weren't sick after all, they were reading the wrong x-ray. Well, those are nice things, but they're just things that happen on the planet Earth. All kinds of things happen. But the very fact that you land on the planet Earth, and the planet is so unbelievable, I can't, wow, how can you talk about it? There are trees, do you know that? There are trees on the planet Earth, entire forests, like the Black Forest in Germany. Okay? Trees need sunshine. They get that free of charge. That's how the thing worked out. There's this ball, burning ball out there, right? But they need water. It's not natural that the oceans that are full of salt and are very far away from the Black Forest, how do they get watered? Oh, there's a built-in irrigation system. Just like we have pipes and things put. What do you mean? The sun shines on the ocean. Water, no salt, gets sucked up. It aggregates into these things called clouds. And wind, which is on the planet also, blows the clouds over the Black Forest, and it drops the rain. Happens all the time. Been happening for millions and millions and millions of years all by itself. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Take a breath. How in the world are you not okay here? You're not okay. I'm going to keep going back. You're not okay because you said you're not. I have a problem. Well, I don't like the shape of my nose. That's a problem? Who said it's a problem? Me. Well, let's go to somebody who fixes noses. And I love nose jobs. I'm not picking on you. I just started with noses. All right? I'll get the rest later. So, so you go there. I've seen movies of this, right? And there's all these noses, not real ones, pictures of them, right? And you pick which one you want. And you have trouble picking. I guarantee you. It's not like, that's the one I want. No, it's a little big. You have trouble picking them. You understand you would have trouble picking them. Well, you got some major problems, don't you? Your problem is you decided you don't like your nose. That's the first problem. Second problem is you can't even decide which one you want. The third problem is who surgeon should do it, because I want the best. See it? Can you create problems? Are you good at creating problems? Do you create a lot of problems? There. I proved my point, didn't I? What if it's not a problem? What? Your nose. What do you mean? I have a nose. Okay, good. Congratulations. What's it there for? To look pretty? No, to have nostrils so you can breathe. That's what it's there for, right or wrong? No. We'll get slowly into it. You have created your own problems because you decided that things are problems. What if they're not? Well, then they're not problems. Do you hear me? So we go on and we get to the point, the one I wanted to do, since part of our family had a baby the other day. Net result is, I don't see it as a baby coming out. I'm sorry. I see it, I'm a very root type person, as a single cell, listen to me, a single fertilized cell. You need a microscope to see it. It knows how to make a baby. That single cell has the knowledge, the wisdom, the capability of dividing just exactly right, and then dividing and dividing and dividing, and the whole thing makes a baby. The lungs, the heart, the pancreas, the pineal gland, everything, every single thing. Nobody got in there and made that thing. And if you think you made it, that's the biggest joke that ever lived. Here's my baby. That's the funniest thing I ever heard of. Wow, look what it made. That primary stem cell has all of the knowledge and capability to build everything they kept building that baby. Well, that's not amazing, is it? And that's the planet Earth. And you're having problems. Okay, how did it get like this? Why are we like this? Why don't we just have a good time? And there's one word, and it's only 3 letters, and it's not G-O-D. It's E-G-O. That is the only problem you have, and the only problem you will ever have, and the only problem you've ever had is this thing called ego. Well, I don't see that on the planet Earth. There are trees and animals and things. Well, I don't understand. Okay, well, that's the deep stuff. That's what the Bible is trying to teach you in Genesis as the fall from the garden. The more I grow it, I don't read the Bible, but the more I grow, you grow into what it said. Okay? You all know what it says, but do you know what it says? And you realize you're in here. That's the basic foundation of your life, not the planet Earth. You know you're on the planet Earth. Why? Because you're in there. The rock doesn't know it's there. But you know you're a conscious, there's this thing called consciousness, awareness of being. What is consciousness? Awareness of being. I am aware that I'm aware that I'm aware. Is anybody not in there? You're in there. How long have you been in there? Ever since I dropped out. Whoop, I'm in here. That's your starting place. So your starting place is there's form and there's awareness of form. That's all the spirituality you ever need to be taught. You're in there and you're aware of the stuff you're aware of. You mean like the rocks and the animals and the trees? Yeah, you're aware of all that, but you're also aware of these things called thoughts. Are you sure? Are you sure you have thoughts? Prove it. You know you have thoughts. Who knows you have thoughts? You, the self. That is what's meant by the self. That's what's meant by the Atman. That's what's meant by the soul, the core of your being. The core of your being is not your thoughts. They come and go. You're still there, knowing they're there and not there. They're not your heart. They're not your feelings. They come and go. Since he left me, my heart's hurting so much. How do you know? You won't ask that question. No, fix it. There we go again. Fix, fix, fix. How do you know your heart hurts? How do you know you're having a bad mind day? How do you know that meditation went so deep that the peace when you came back? How do you know there was peace? How do you know you went deep? How do you know you have dreams? How do you know anything? The answer is very simple, because I'm in here. I'm an aware being. That's the essence of spirituality. You are consciousness. Everything else is something you're conscious of. But we were talking about the planet. Every single thing on the planet, I don't care if it's 100 billion, zillion, quillion different things, you're aware of whichever one you're aware of. You're the same. It's the same you who looks at a rattlesnake and looks at a butterfly, right or wrong. It's the same you who knows when you look at a rattlesnake that you notice fear comes up inside. How do you know? How do you know it's a rattlesnake? How do you know there's something there? Because the senses tell you, comes in. How do you know there's fear that comes up? Because I'm in here and I experience it. You are the experiencer. You are not the experience. Okay, we did it. I said it. You're not the experience. You're the experiencer of the experience. You experience the experience. Yeah, but what if I don't like it? That's you, the experiencer. For some reason, we'll talk about it a little bit, I can't go too far. For some reason, you, your consciousness, can not like things or cannot be comfortable with things. Call that word. Like comes later, right? If you're not comfortable, then you don't like it. There can be things that come in from outside that when you experience them, there's this sense of not wanting to have experienced it. Anybody know anything about that? Wow. We're going to talk about that. I'm going very slow. That's really deep. Because consciousness is just like light. Light doesn't care what it's shining on. It's shining on something dirty and something clean and something big and something small. Light can sit there and shine on something dying. Light can shine on something being born, just shines on it. That's what's called the light of consciousness. The nature of consciousness is awareness. That's its nature. Well, what if something comes in and I'm aware of it, but I'm not comfortable? I guarantee you're aware that you're not comfortable. This is a deep talk. It may seem trivial. It ain't. If something comes in that you're not comfortable with, not only are you aware of what came in, you're aware that you're not comfortable with it. Who is awareness? The same exact awareness that is aware of everything else whenever it comes in, or thoughts, everything. There's just this awareness of being becomes aware that there's this sense of discomfort. It's not uncomfortable. Awareness can't be, light can't be uncomfortable. Consciousness can't be uncomfortable. It's aware that discomfort is there, isn't it? But it's not uncomfortable. I don't know what to say to you. It's never uncomfortable. It's never been uncomfortable. It's just experiencing discomfort. That's one of the things you can experience. You experience trees, rocks, birds, songs, sounds, sights, thoughts, all kinds of thoughts, X-rated, R-rated, W-rated, PG. It experiences everything, doesn't it? It's aware that it experienced it, otherwise it wouldn't know. It is aware of discomfort. That's just one of the things it can be aware of. This is the core of all of it. Do you understand that? Are you aware of discomfort? All right. When you see a tree, can you drive by a tree? It's called just tree. Buddhists call it just tree. And it'd be just tree. There's a tree. Didn't do anything. Did you experience it? Yes. Did it cause discomfort? No. Did it cause comfort? No. It was an experience I had. You got lots of them. The trouble is, there's some experiences that when you have them and there is, say, discomfort, you're not okay with that. You hear me? You're okay experiencing a tree. You're okay experiencing her hair. I'm okay experiencing her nose. I think it's adorable. All right? But maybe I'm okay experiencing my nose. but I'm not okay experiencing discomfort. What does that mean? It's still an experience, isn't it? Discomfort is an experience, just like any other experience. Why am I stressing this? It's the beginning of the fall from the garden. It's everything. It's everything. It's how it all got screwed up. I'm going to show you how. But understand, discomfort is an experience, just like everything else. It's something you're aware of. There's subject, you, and object. That's what Ramdas used to teach. Subject, object. You're the subject of what? Of everything. You're the subject. And then there's these things you experience. They're the objects. And discomfort is an experience. It's not core to your being. It's an experience you're having. Has anyone ever in the history of humanity learned to be comfortable with something they were uncomfortable with? Yes or no? Can you learn? Okay, well, that's just a thing. Discomfort's just a thing. Just like anything else. What happens? What happens is when you experience discomfort, you don't, I can't go there. We're talking about the fall from the garden right now because there's just consciousness experiencing creation. That's what God's doing. He went, whoa, and created expression of himself, and he's experiencing the expression of himself. The same as an artist paints a painting and wants to look at it to see what they express. A musician creates music. Nobody else has to listen. They're just experiencing the bliss of experiencing the experience of what they created. That's God. Always, everywhere, at all times, always has been, always will be. All right? It's just, he created everything, from Alpha to Omega. Everything is created. But what good is it created if you don't experience it? Consciousness is experiencing creation. That's what's going on. That's in the garden. Why is it in the garden? Because you love music, you love form. It sends God into ecstasy of experiencing himself. That's what's happening. The beginning happened, and God is experiencing. That really, and I'm not going to do it, I can't quote the Bible, but if you read Genesis, it says, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. Oh, I see. There's this God, and then he's going to create of himself. And he said, I can't do it. I don't know. If I had, I don't know seminars with you guys. If I did, you'd be here day and night. There's just a lot to understand. What did he say first? Let there be light. Do you understand that the more physics has looked down, 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 past the atoms, past the electrons and protons, past the quantum field, they found light. They found wavelets, period, of energies, waves. That's what light is, wavelets of energy. That's all that's down there. Quantum physics is very complicated stuff, right? But the quantum theory is not. Just the basic concept that, okay, there are electron, neutron, proton. We all know that. They come together and they make atoms. You all know that. And the atoms make molecules. And the molecules make everything you look at. Therefore, there's nothing there but atoms. They didn't stop being atoms, did they? That's what you're looking at. But there aren't atoms, electrons, neutrons, and protons. And there aren't electrons, neutrons, and protons. There's quarks, leptons, and bosons, and all kinds of stuff. They break apart. And the foundation of it, they found with these primary particles. Then they found out, no, they're not even there. They're just wavelets of light. Well, there are no particles. Particle physics turned out to be wavelets. Do you understand? Let there be light. And out of those wavelets, everything got created. And you sit there and say, how? I just told you. They bond together and the little wavelets hit each other and then they make this and then electron, neutron, protons get pulled together and wow. So in Genesis, pretty amazing. How'd they know it was that, right? And then it said he created this, created this, created this. Then he rested. In other words, he created and he experienced his creation. And that's what's going on. Consciousness is experiencing form, but form is made of consciousness. It's just expressed itself and is experiencing itself. That's what it means to be in the garden. That's where Adam and Eve were before they fell from the garden. Well, what's it like to be in the garden? I don't know. Let's go to the East for a minute. What do they say about the nature of consciousness? How can consciousness have a nature? Well, it's interesting. It's called Satchidananda, eternal conscious ecstasy. Oh, that's what's there. And that's what expressed itself. was eternal, obviously, forever, gone forever, it will be forever, eternal, and it's aware of itself, and is aware of constant ecstasy. But what if it looks at a rattlesnake? It doesn't go down and touch it, but it feels ecstatic that it exists. Well, if it looks at a butterfly, it doesn't have to catch it and hold it and make it own mine. It can just be ecstatic of the experience, yes or no. It can let it touch me to the depth of my being. The snake, the butterfly, the person, the woman, the man, just every one of it just comes in and no one's interfering. It comes in and you experience it. When you experience them in the depth of your being, it's really beautiful, isn't it? That's another expression. Once in a lifetime is one expression. The other is, it touched me to the depth of my being. Has anything ever touched you to the depth of your being? A sunset, a romantic moment. You melt. You go away. There's no ego. You can't touch the depth of your being if the ego is in between. We're going to get there. So there, that's God. That's God experiencing God. If it touches the depth of your being, you say, touch the depth of my being, or and that someone so beautiful, and I just melted away. I felt like I was in the presence of God. You were. God was in the presence of himself. That's the essence of non-duality. That's the essence that the deepest yoga, the deepest teachings say, when subject and object become one, when the experiencer and the experience become one, that's melting. Maybe you've melted. It's rare. We're so screwed up, we don't melt very often, do we? Sometimes, for whatever reasons, which we're going to talk about, it makes it all the way through. What does? The experiencer, God, experiences the experience, God, and it melts into oneness. Isn't that beautiful? That is what's meant by in the garden. But how in the world did you fall from that? Because I don't think you're all feeling that all the time. Okay? Well, I told you. I just belabored it. It comes in. What does? The experience. And you experience it. But somehow, there's this thing called discomfort. I don't, I'm telling you, I'm not going to talk about the original sin. I can't even touch it, right? I'm just telling you, you're proof that it happened. That at some point, it didn't make it through. It came in, otherwise you wouldn't have known it was there. It came in, you experienced it, and there was this thing that got born called resistance. I don't want to experience this. I don't want to have experienced this. I am not comfortable with this. Not on my watch. In other words, the consciousness itself, I get a little closer, all right? Consciousness is like the ocean. It's an ocean of consciousness. It's the same everywhere. It's just exactly the same everywhere. It's conscious everywhere. If something comes in that's loud enough, strong enough, vibrational enough, I don't know, that it concentrates on that as opposed to on everything. Do things distract you? Does your consciousness get distracted? What does that mean? It means it was elsewhere, now it's there. You feel it focus, doesn't it? Can it focus? All right, that's it. That's when it ceased to be one. Now, all of a sudden, that focal point of consciousness is different than the part that didn't focus. As close as I can get. And when you focus on it, it can't make it through. Why? Because you concentrated on it. Because you brought consciousness down and the experience got stopped by the focus of consciousness. That's as close as I can get. Do you understand? That's literally where it starts. Okay? So it got pulled down. Well, what about the rest of consciousness? It's there. You're still the same conscious being. But can you focus? Here, you stubbed your toe. Is it the same experience as before you stubbed your toe? No. Before you stubbed your toe, you had this thing called a body. You felt your arms, you felt your legs, you felt your toes, you felt your head, you felt your nose. Yes or no? Now, all of a sudden, there's only a stubbed toe. It pulled your consciousness down to it, and therefore you focused on it, and therefore it became an experience you'll talk about for 3 weeks. Came close, didn't I? Do you understand that? This is as close as you're going to get to what created duality, because it's non-dual, But if it focuses, now how many places can it focus? Oh, I don't know. There's 8.3 billion of you on the planet right now. And the same consciousness is focusing down on your thoughts, your thoughts, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your this, your experiences. It's the same consciousness. It focused to all those points. You're going to, he said, think of it like a gas stove. There's one flame, but it comes out through all the holes. Therefore, not out of many one, out of one many. There it is. That consciousness, each flame is shining in each one of you, but it's the same flame. So that's what's happening. So what happens is when consciousness, God, gets distracted, something came in, that's all I can say, and it focused on it. This I know. When you're a meditator, you'll see. If you focus on it, it stays. Consciousness is really what we call chit shakti. It's conscious energy. They're one thing. Consciousness and energy are the same thing, just like electromagnetism. We used to think there's electricity and magnetism. And you scientist type people understand, now there's an electromagnetic field. They're the same thing. You approach it from one angle, it's electricity. Another angle, it's magnetism. They're the same thing. Well, Chit Shakti is God. It's the same thing. Energy and consciousness are the same thing. So when you focus your consciousness onto an object, you bring Shakti with you. You bring energy with you. And that energy is capable of resisting that object. And that's what you do in there every single moment of your life. You resist your thoughts, you resist your emotions, you resist what happened before, you resist what might happen later, you resist what's happening. You understand that? You're on guard. Yes or no? Isn't that fun? Okay? As opposed to being in ecstasy, let's do that. Let's try that for a while. So what's happening, I'm telling you, is something came in. I don't care about the original one, but something came in and consciousness focused on it. And because it focused on that, that's bigger than all the rest. If you go out in that field and you're looking at the grass and the trees and the sunlight and a snake comes by, I guarantee you everything's not the same to you anymore right then. And it may not be the same if it's a rattlesnake and it coils and then crawls away. You may keep that in there for the rest of your life. You may never walk in a field again. You focused on it. And because you focused on it, it stayed. Why did it stay? Because you held it. That's what suppression is. What's suppression? What do you suppress? Every experience? You do not. You don't suppress the white lines. You don't suppress the trees. You suppress all kinds of things. You suppress the stuff that had an impact enough for you to focus on. What did you say to me? Don't you talk to me like that. Okay? That's staying in there. Why? Because there's super glue? No, there's nothing in there but you. There's nothing in there but you. There's nothing in there but consciousness. The rest comes in and passes through and merges back to God. It's just a constant flow. But you focused on it, therefore you held it, and if it stays in there, it doesn't stay in there by itself. It stays in there because you keep focusing on it. Go study psychology. What did Freud figure out? You got stuff in there from your childhood, from mommy and daddy. They're not around anymore, but you kept it in there. Let's bring it up. No. Whoa, why? Because it wasn't comfortable when it came in. I focused on it, and that kept it. And now it's not comfortable if it tries to come back up, and now I've built this mess inside of me. I literally made a collection of everything that ever bothered me. And the more it bothered me, the more I collected it. Now, what do you think it's like in there now? If you stored every single thing that ever disturbed you inside of you, it is going to be disturbed in there because that's what you stored. Okay? Like I'm not trying to say you did it, but you did it. It's not an ego thing, not a guilt thing, but from the point of view of I'm just a conscious being having experiences, which was going on, but there were some experiences I couldn't handle. Have you ever said the words, I can't handle that? I can't handle this. I can't handle this. Wow. Well, what are you going to do if you can't handle it? Keep it. Fight with it. Try to fix it. All of it means it stays. If you're trying to fix it, it means it's stuck in there. You don't try to fix the white lines. You try to fix all the trees you drive by. You You're trying to fix all the people that you don't even know. It's because you focused on it, because it wasn't comfortable to you, and now you want to fix it. Fix what? The thing you decided to keep that's bothering you, so you can fix the fact that it's bothering you, but you keep thinking about it. Now I have to make sure I don't hang out with anybody who will remind me of what my sister was like, because I didn't like her very much. I haven't talked to her for 15 years, but if her hair looks like my sister's, or she talks an accent like my sister, no. So you're a mess. You're not free. But you're free, you're God. Yeah, God stuck. And why did God get stuck? Well, my favorite is this. God gave you free will. God is free will. He created the universe. What did you do with your free will? Where do you want to go? What do I want to do? I want to store every single thing that ever bothered me inside of me so I can suffer. And then fight to try to not suffer. And then blame everybody else the fact that I'm suffering. Can anybody relate? Yes or no? I hope you can relate. It's deep talk. It's kind of universal. Okay? So that's the problem. I said there were no problems. Well, there is a problem. You stored this stuff in there. You didn't let life happen. It's a wonderful planet. Yes, there are snakes. Yes, there are butterflies. No one says you have to touch them. Just experience it. It's amazing. They're amazing. And so you get to the point where you catch on that there is a solution. Stop creating problems. I'm serious. If you're going to create a problem, there's no solution. I'm telling you. You can claim there is, you can have positive thinking. Why do you have positive thinking? Because there's pretty negative in there. And it's good. I use it. Use everything you can to help free yourself. But understand why you're caught. Because the consciousness, that's witness consciousness. You're in there, but you're not letting things be. You're not listening to the Beatles. Let it be. Singing words of wisdom. You're not. You're picking out the things you like and you don't like. You're holding them inside. And this obligation, I don't like to do it. I don't like to have this next sentence, next clause. But what about things I like? In the end, they will make you suffer. Why? You'll be afraid of losing them. You want them to happen again. You're jealous because somebody else had them. That's called negative and positive scars. The fact that it's beautiful to have a beautiful experience. I'm not telling you, I've never taught renunciation. It's not about renouncing. How would you know what to renounce? It's all just life. You're renouncing that which didn't make it through, therefore it's bothering you, and now I'm going to renounce it. Okay? All right. But you play with that. You do everything you can. It's wonderful. Try everything you can. When it's said and done, basically it's because it didn't make it through. That's the problem. If it makes it through, there's not a single thing that made it through, just made it through, without you touching it, they have a problem with. So here, I'm okay with temperatures between, I don't know, I'm pretty open, 62 and 78. I'm relatively comfortable. Well, what happens when it's 40? Oh, no, it didn't make it through. It's just a temperature. It's just an experience you're having. What if it's 97? Ah! And then you're still complaining as a thing. I don't know, stay here. Should I move? I don't like Florida. It's too cold up north. I don't know. Look what you've done. You didn't let it pass through. Are there people that enjoy the cold? Are there people who live in Alaska? They love it. So, yes, there's all kinds of things, but you can't. Why? Because I said so. Are you theoretically capable? Of course. You can adapt. You're very adaptable. But you don't. So instead, you build a like and don't like. And you make a mess of yourself. And then you make a mess of everybody else. Because it has to be, here, we're getting divorced. Why? I thought you loved each other. Well, we do. Why are you getting divorced? Well, irreconcilable differences. What? He wants to live in Alaska. I want to live down south. I want to live in Jamaica. And we just can't decide, so we're getting divorced. Hey, having a good time yet? No wonder we don't get along. No wonder we got problems, because we define them as problems. And then everyone's got a different definition, and therefore we go to war with each other. So basically, it is this act of resistance, of non-acceptance, of non-surrender. And people misunderstand what I mean by surrender. Again, They think it. It means outside, whatever is happening, don't touch it. If a drug dealer comes up to you and says, hey, man, you want some drugs? Say yes, because you're supposed to surrender. No. Surrender is where we just talked about inside. Are you in there? Check. Do you resist? Yeah. Let go. Inside. It's an inner thing you do inside. Do you resist? Do you ever feel tension, anxiety? What is tension from a scientific point of view? Do you know we study construction and we talk about tension on an I-beam? What is tension? Opposing forces. They create tension. We use diagonalization to remove tension. That's why you have tension, because you are in there resisting life. And if you resist life, it creates tension. That's where you get ulcers, or you get all kinds of stuff. Well, what if you don't resist life? That's called surrender. But if I surrender, what about outside? Once you let go and you're not acting from this point of view of I can't handle it, deal with it. But don't deal with it because you can't handle it. That's just your neurosis expressing itself. It's not going to do any good. No one will agree with you. You're trying to make yourself be okay because you made yourself not be okay. And so instead you catch on, you say inside, can I handle it? That's spiritual growth. I can handle 40. It's fine. If he wants to live in Alaska, do I want to live in Alaska? No, I feel some resistance, but I can let it go. I love him. I love her. I can let it go. I'd rather have love, have the body be cold, have the heart be warm. Hear me? I'm telling you, I'm talking deep to you tonight. So I'm not giving him his way. No. But ultimately, you say, do I want to resist? Resistance causes suppression. Resistance causes tension. Resistance causes everything. But I don't like what's happening. Do you have to resist it because your tendency is to not like it? No, I do not have to resist it. I can do this thing that Mickey always talks about. I can let go. I can relax in the face of my not liking it, of the face of the tendency to resist. Buddhists say, work at the root. This is the root. You have a tendency to resist, do you not? Do you have to? No. I'll tell you what, you're resisting this. I will give you all of, what's his name, Musk. I'll give you all of Musk's money if you sit there for 5 minutes and don't resist. All right? It's like, you cannot resist. Do you understand that? You just don't want to. You don't want to go through the experience of relaxing through the tendency to resist. That's the highest thing I will ever teach you. You don't want to bother to relax. What is relaxation? The opposite of resistance. You can't resist when you're relaxing. The yoga teacher says, you say, oh, but it hurts when I stretch like that. Relax into it. So I'm telling you, you have a tendency to resist. Can you relax even though you have a tendency to resist? You have free will. You want to use your free will? There's your free will. All right? I can and I will. And the more you let go, the less you have a problem. Why? Because you didn't store it as a problem. And the resistance didn't create tension. Now, that doesn't mean that once you've done that, to whatever degree you can, it's not all or nothing, right? To whatever degree you can, when you've done that, instead of realizing, I want my way, I have to resist this, you let go. Now you're clear. That's what's called clarity. You're not caught up in yourself. Now you can look outside and say, can I help? I've handled it. Can I help? What can I do to help? Help me? No, I'm already okay. Help the situation. Help the other people. Selfless help. When you're resisting, you can't do that. What you're trying to do is change the situation so you're okay. And you're taught to do that. I did it my way. Are you hearing me? That is where spirituality exists. And you will end up in God. Why? Because you didn't leave. You didn't come down to resist. You didn't allow the fact that the focal started to push away, right? And therefore it goes up. You don't have to do anything. They don't tell you that. When you stop pushing down, it pulls you up. It's called the ascent. It's not something you're doing. You can't be there doing it. You know what I mean? Then you go, oh, I didn't meditate enough. He's meditating more than I am. Oh, I don't know God yet. I thought I was going to get it within 5 minutes. I tried this. It's still in there, creating spiritual ego, commotion. If you don't resist, it didn't pull you down. I don't know how to say it any cleaner. If you don't resist, you didn't go down to meet it. And this is the essence. And my new book talks about this a lot. It's not that you go down to fix it, your problems. You let them come up to you and let them go. They're going to come up. That's not wrong. It's good. Are you willing to relax through them when they come up? Now, you see the difference? Now you're going back to the garden. You will start to feel ecstasy. You will start to feel ecstasy. It will become your normal state. It's for waves of ecstasy pouring inside of you all the time. Wave your hand. Ecstasy goes pouring through your being because you're not resisting. You're fighting. The more you clean out in there, the less you're holding down there. Therefore, the less you have to go down there. Therefore, the less you have to fix everything. It's just boom, 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 boom. It goes out. Okay? We had a nice talk here. Practice. You're not going to get it right. No one says it happens right away. Don't even think about it. All you're asked is to do the best you can. Of what? Of a job? No, what happens is if you don't resist, you will want to do the best you can everywhere. You did the best you can in here, you're going to find out, fine, it's a job. I want to do my best. I want to sweep the floor. I want to pick the kids up for soccer. I don't have preferences. My preferences were because I was resisting, and I'm trying to find out what will make me feel better, even though I'm resisting. I want a vacation. Why? What's a vacation? Come down to the planet Earth. You already did that. That is your vacation. Don't waste it. Do you hear me? So if you don't resist, then there's no tension. There's no tension. You don't need anything. And then all of a sudden the heart opens up. Why? Because you're not closing it. You close it to protect yourself because of all the stuff you stored in there you don't want to happen again. You're not going to change it immediately. But if every day, with the fact that it's hot, or the driver in front of you, or just a big line you have to wait in, 5 people, all right, you're going to resist. Well, how about you don't? How about you practice not resisting inside? Practice letting go of the tendency to focus on something that you want to resist. And just say, I don't need to resist this. It's so stupid. It bothers me to resist. I'll just accept it. And all of a sudden, it doesn't bother you anymore. Do you understand that? That which you totally accept doesn't bother you anymore. The bother was I couldn't accept it. See, I really don't want to stop because I got you. You hear me? It's an everyday experience. It's not just meditation. I meditate. I don't teach meditation. I never did, actually. Right. Why? I'm supposed to teach you what to do when you're not meditating, which is kind of all the time. Right? And this is what you do. You, inside every day of your life, you wake up and you say, a day is going to happen in front of me. And I have all this garbage I stored inside of me. Okay, starting point, there it is. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm not putting any more in there. You're not going to let go of everything you stored in there so far. But I don't have to put more in. Because you see how damaging what you put in there is? You know it. Somebody talks to you a way you don't like. You don't want to see them again. Then you find out you misunderstood what they were saying. Okay? Then you want to see them again. Then you want to apologize. Why don't you just sit there and say, who cares? You're causing the problem. All right. That's where we started. Okay? We went a long way here. So welcome to the planet Earth. Welcome. Congratulations. You've landed on the planet Earth. I'll have to stop. I used to start my talks this way. There's these souls that are free, and they're way out in the universe, and they've got a leader, and the leader brings them down, and they see planets and stars and moons and everything, and then they see this little blue ball out there, and they stop. They say, "You want to go down there, guys?" And somebody says, "Well, okay, what will I do down there?" Ready? Whatever you want. Well, let's say there's computers. I want to do that. Then do it. Let's say there's marriage. I want to do that. Okay, do it. But what if what I want doesn't happen? Well, enjoy your journey, will you? Please don't worry. You're not going to stay there very long. Just go down there for a few years and come back and tell me what it's like. You can't do that, can you? You should be able to, shouldn't you? And that's what you work with. I'm going to wake up in the morning, every morning. I'm going to sit for a moment, or meditate, fine. You sit for a moment and say, today, I'm not putting any more in here. Doesn't matter what happens. I ain't putting any more in here. Guess what? Good luck. But you do the best you can. My commitment is I will do the best I can, that if it starts to create resistance, to relax. It will change your life. Just that very act of realizing I don't have to fix it. I can let it go. That's pretty good. You know what I mean? I can sit in here and let go, and then I don't have to fix everything. And do the best you can. Do the best you can. Relationships, sometimes people aren't nice when they come home. They had a bad day. That okay with you? Yeah, it's all right. And you let go. Just keep letting go. Now you understand letting go. Now you understand surrender inside. Okay? All right. We could go on, but I think I laid a good groundwork for you. Do you understand that? All right. Thank you. Thank you for listening, really. Jagrata.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.